It's the craziest Hollywood kidnapping story no one has ever heard of.
Drew Barrymore's boyfriend, Justin Long, was abducted by a gang of men.
These guys spotted me at a bar and I was drugged.
They lured him into their car and drove off.
I thought they were going to kill me.
I open the door and I jump out.
The car ran over my leg.
Justin thought he was safe, but we discovered that just 2 days after he narrowly escaped death, Drew dumped him.
It was so sudden, this thing. I was so confused by it.
But now, over 10 years later, Drew and Justin are confronting each other. Will she reveal the real reason she broke up with him?
We've been through so much together. I always wanted to prove to you what a different person I was than when we dated.
When Drew first started dating actor Justin Long, she was just looking for a fun time, and he seemed like the perfect guy for her.
I was very much in love with Justin. You know why? Because he's funny.
We laughed all the time.
So much.
Yeah.
Like, that was so much a part of our connection.
Drew was one of the most famous women in the world, and Justin didn't know what he'd really gotten himself into.
Things started to get weird.
Because you were in a really public relationship.
Yes.
Being in the public eye with Drew put a target on Justin's back.
These guys spotted me at a bar and they approached me. I don't know what their motivation was, but
They kept coming over to our table. At the end of the night, they said, "Do you want to go to a casino?" And I was eager to go because I love playing blackjack. They stopped at their condo. They took out a bong. They passed it to me. I said, "Oh no, I'm okay." And they said, "Are you fucking kidding, bro?"
I ended up smoking what I thought was weed, and I think it was PCP. My whole body shut down, and they were driving me around. I think they were wanting to film me in some compromising position, But I thought they were going to kill me.
I started freaking out, punching the seat in front of me. "Oh, okay, Justin, calm down. We're gonna take you back." Then they reversed course and they started going back to my hotel. They started going up to the hotel. They slowed down. Here we go. And they kept going. I opened the door and I jump out. Of course, I rolled under the car and they ran over my leg.
Justin thought he'd escaped the worst of it, but the pain kept on coming.
I wake up in more pain than I've ever been in, and blood all over the sheets. I went to a doctor and he x-rayed it, and no broken bones, which is crazy. But bad nerve damage.
We don't know whether Justin contacted the police after his kidnapping, but we do know that he was focusing on his relationship because 2 days later, Drew dumped him.
I went through a breakup. It was so out of nowhere when I was supposed to be healing the leg. It was so sudden, this thing. I was so confused by it that I was asking everyone for advice.
It's so different from the Drew we see today, so we wanted to dig into why Drew would abandon Justin when he needed her the most. When you look back at Drew's childhood, it's clear she never learned how to deal with stressful situations.
But you really did have to raise yourself. Your father and mother were just not there for you.
Where were you when she was going to parties and bars at 9?
She would go her way and I would go my way.
9 or 10, that's exactly the age where you need some guidance.
She brought me up with zero protection, zero consistency.
And instead of taking care of Drew when she needed it the most, her mom abandoned her.
How old were you when you tried coke?
13. Club scenes in New York.
When and how did you go into rehab?
When I was 13, my mom put me in there. Came home drunk and trashed the house. She sent me to a lockdown facility.
When I got out, they felt that my mom and I would be best apart. It was incredibly painful.
I got emancipated legally when I was 15, just turned 15.
That was sort of the end of it. We just went in our separate ways and had to go and live different lives.
And we have rarely spoken since.
Drew struggled to create healthy relationships, so she didn't know how to be there for Justin during his recovery, but she had a hard time letting him go.
We would get together, we would break up, there was chaos.
You have goals and aspirations, and you meet someone and you don't want to just career girl, and you don't want to ditch everything for love and find yourself resenting a person.
Let's talk about your friend, Justin Long. You keep saying he's your friend, but then everyone's talking about y'all are making out all night long.
I just have decided that a friend is what I call this person. It's on my terms, it's my business.
When Drew and Justin broke up for good, she threw herself into her new relationship. She was determined to become the stable mom she never had.
The one relationship that I entered that I swore was gonna work was the one with my kid's father, Will.
I, too, wanted that perfect family, the opposite experience for my children than I had.
Mother first. Everything comes second now.
People were like, do you go on a date night? Do you put the relationship first? I was like, no. I think we've put the parenting first.
But when her perfect family came crashing down, Drew had to decide if she was going to abandon them like she did with Justin.
I really did not take divorce well. I took it really hard. Something closed and it stayed closed. I know from not growing up with any family whatsoever that was the last thing I wanted to do for my daughters. It taught me a valuable life lesson.
Drew realized that you don't have to throw meaningful relationships away just because they don't work out the way you'd hoped.
It took me 5 years to be able to speak with strength and see everything we did right. His family and I made the most important choice to be so together and united and connected.
We just have the North Star of our kids, and we're in such a good place, and it took a long time to get there, but we never lost sight of what was important.
And her divorce helped her reflect on her relationship with Justin. Drew invited him on her talk show, and she didn't ask about the kidnapping. Instead, she focused on healing their friendship.
We used to talk and FaceTime. I was always like, I've really grown up, Justin.
I'm no longer a young idiot.
Now Drew focuses on healing her past relationships and cherishing the love in a new way.
How great it is to champion your ex, because I wonder, where does the friendship go? And if we can be that and people can have that, it's so respecting of what once was. Relationships in this world are one of the most universal subjects, but relationships transcend the romantic.
I love that we've maintained our love. From my end, it'll never go anywhere. I'll love you always.
I will always love you
Yeah,
so much.
I know.